Hello guys, welcome back. My name is David here and I'm at CEG Dealer School, and we are going to introduce a whole new series about all the games, really all the table games, but this week we're going to go over tips and tricks for craps, for you guys out there that are players and who may be coming to Vegas or coming to casinos. So we want to introduce you to all the things, the tips and tricks that we know as dealers, as a school, as we interact with our casino partners, this kind of thing. So today, we thought we would go over like what stuff pays on a craps table. So what stuff pays, very basically, so you know when you put your money down in the game, you know what it pays, right? So that's an important sort of factor in figuring out like what you want to bet, how much you want to bet, this kind of thing. So first I'm going to go over some of the even money bets or flat bets on a craps table. Even money just means exactly that. Whatever money you put down on the table, you're going to get paid the same money back if it should win, right? So if it loses, obviously, can't help you there. But hopefully you get on a winning roll, and so you can win some money. Okay, so the first thing is we're going to deal with a pass line bet. So any money you have here on the pass line in between these bars is going to always pay you even money. So $5 pays you $5, $10 pays you $10, so forth and so on, all the way up. Also, keep in mind now, you know, the best time to bet the pass line is when this is off, before we have a point. So when this puck here is in the don't come bar, okay, so that means you're coming out. It's the first roll of the dice. 7-11 wins, 2-3-12 loses, and I'm not here to kind of teach you that part of it, but just what stuff pays, okay? On to the don't pass. The don't pass bar, also the first bet on the don't pass bar is even money. So when this is off, you can only bet the don't pass. The flat bet, when this is off, you can add odds or reverse odds or what they call lay odds, you know, once there's a point. But when this is off, this is going to pay even money. So if you get 10, 15, 20, 25, whatever you have there, even money. Okay, the field is not always even money, actually. So there's a caveat to that, because as you see, 2 pays double, 12 pays double. Sometimes, in fact, 12 even pays triple. But you're going to get even money for the 3, 5, 9, 10, and 11. And bonus for the 2 and the 12. And the field is a bet on the next roll of the dice. Any of those numbers rolls, and you win. Okay, now we have a point. Let's say, for example, we come out on the point of 8. Someone's rolled at 8. Now the point is 8. The next even money bet on a craps table is a come bet. So let's say you're on the pass line. Now you want to start a new come bet. And the first come bet, your come bet, not just the first bet, but a come bet, the flat bet, pays even money. So for example, if a 7-11 were to roll now, your come bet would win even money. If it moves to a number, so if a 9 is rolled, the dealer will move your bet to the 9, and now that also pays even money until you add the odds. And the odds don't pay even money, and we're going to go over that in a minute. The last even money bet, and I'm trying to look around, see if I missed anything, is a don't come. A don't come bet is also an even money bet. So the don't come, when you first set it here, 7-11 loses, 2-3 wins, 12 is a push. But if you win this bet, this flat bet, it's going to pay even money. 5 pays 5 and so on. If a number's rolled, it goes behind that number. And then, of course, you want 7 before that number rolls again. And for this first bet, the flat bet, you get paid even money. Now, interestingly, there's a few ways to work the proposition bets where they only return even money, but that's a little more complicated. We'll go over that another time. But those essentially are the even money bets on a craps table. Now we're going to talk about what the odds pay. And across the craps table, there's a few ways you can take odds, reverse odds, and lays, and we're going to go over what that pays, okay? So there's a few ways, obviously, to take advantage of a crap table. And we're going to start with the base area first in our tips and tricks series on what things pay on a craps table. And eventually we'll move on to the proposition bets. And instead of teaching you guys the keys, so I had a previous course to teach you guys the keys, how to figure it out, I'm just going to kind of go over what they pay. Okay, so for now, let's start from the very beginning. Okay, let's say we're going to come out and we're going to start with a pass line player first. And we're going to put down a few different scenarios. So let's say a $5 table, a $10 table, a $15 table. And for those of you in Vegas trying to get in at the Wynn or some of these higher casinos during Corona, $25 table, okay? So assuming the point is 4 or 10, the odds are gonna pay 2 to 1. Just like I mentioned, the pass line, even money, okay? So 5 pays 5, 10 pays 10, 15 pays 15, 25 pays 25. if another tension rolls. But the benefit of playing craps, of course, is being able to take odds. So first, the max odds we can take is 3, 4, 5 times. So 3, 4, 5 times table, unless you're at some other type of casino that allows for 10 times odds, this kind of thing. But we're gonna go with just a basic 3, 4, 5 times table. What that means is on the 4 and 10, you can take 3 times odds behind. So $5, your max odds would be 15. Now you could take less, you could take 5, 10, or 15, starting with the table minimum and going up to the maximum or table maximum that you're allowed. If we have $10 flat, we can take 10 times 3, $30 for odds. And then 15 is $45 for odds. So we're gonna do that. And then 1 green gets 3 green, $75 odds, okay? Now these bets, the odds, whatever odds you put in back, okay, again, starting with the table minimum. So for example, points 10, you have $10 here, you'd have to take at least 10 odds in back in order to meet the minimum table requirement if it was $10. If, for example, you have $10 on the line, $5 table minimum, you'd only have to take $5 odds behind. Likewise, if you're on a $15 game, okay, and $15 was your minimum line bet, $15 is also your minimum odds bet, and so forth. $25 game, you need at least $25 odds, this type of thing. Okay, so now we're gonna go and pay you some odds, okay? Let's say the 10 rolls again, you win your point. The dealer is gonna pay you 30, 2 to 1. Okay, for 30 odds in back, you're gonna get 60 and 10 there. 45 odds, you're gonna get $90 for those because it's 2 to 1. And here we have a $75 odds, get paid twice and back, 2 to 1, and then again, even money. And this is exactly how it's gonna look if you roll another 4 and 10 for these specific bets. Now we're gonna move on to the 5 and 9. Okay, now I'm on the point of 9. Again, I've set up $5 on the pass line, 10, 15, and 25. And again, we're gonna go with the 3, 4, 5 times odds house, which most casinos here in Vegas are. So the odds on the 5 and 9 pay 3 to 2. So 4 and 10, 2 to 1, 5 and 9, 3 to 2. So every 2 gets 3, or 1.5 times what your odds are. So if you bet 10, you get 15. You bet 20, you get 30, and so on. It's the same as a blackjack. If you're familiar with blackjack and what blackjack pays 3 to 2, if you're lucky enough to get an ace and a 10 value card pays blackjack. If the dealer, of course, doesn't have a blackjack as well, you get paid 3 to 2. Okay, so let me go and set up max odds. So if you had $5 flat, you're going to be able to take 20 odds in back because 3, 4, 5 times odds. If you have $10 flat there, 10 times 4 is $40. Okay, 15 times 4, if you have 15 on the line, you can take $60 in back. And then of course 1/4, you can take $100 odds in back. Okay, so let me go out and pay this. So 20 is going to pay you 30, and then you're going to get $5 on the line. And then 50 or 40 will pay you 60 and $10 flat on the line. 60 is going to pay you 90 and $15 there. And I ran out of money. You're gonna reset. And 100 odds would pay you 150 in back and $25 in front. And that's how it would look, okay? Another thing to keep in mind, a small tip and trick we use for our dealers is, as long as you take maximum odds, whatever it is, on a 3, 4, 5 times table, the total amount that you're gonna be paid is 7 times the flat. So 7 times 5 is 35, and here we have exactly 35. 7 times 10 is 70, and here we have 60 and 10, 70. 7 times 15 is 105, and 90 and 15 is 105. Here we have 25 times 7 is 175, and that's exactly what we have here, 150 and a quarter, $175. Okay, now give me a second, and we're gonna move on to the 6 and 8. Okay guys, now we're on the 8, okay? So as you know, of course, 6 and 8 sisters, 5 and 9 are sisters. I'm only going to show you the 10, 9, and 8, of course, because the 6, 5, and 4 is the same thing. The odds on the 6 and 8 pay 6 to 5. Every $5 you put in back, you're going to get 6. And of course, the same rules apply. 3, 4, 5 times games, so you can only take 5 times what you have up front. And of course, you can take starting at the table minimum. So if the table minimum is $5, you can take $5 odds. If the table minimum is $10 odds, you'd have to take at least $10 odds and back. So for a $5 bet on the pass line, and here's the other tip and trick. For every red you have in front of you, you can take 1 green check for odds. For every dollar, you can take $5 odds. So let me just show you one alternate scenario here. Let's say, for example, you had $12 on the pass line, and you wanted to know from your dealer what your max odds were. Well, you can take 1 green for each red and 1 red for each white. So in this case, you could take 2 green, 2 red. Each white gets a red, each red gets a green for odds. So you could take $60 odds and back, okay? We're just gonna scroll that back here and take that away so we can focus on our other standard bets. All right, $5 can take 25 odds, $10, because there you go, 2 reds gets 2 green, 3 reds gets 3 green. And then a green can do 5 green. And now we're gonna pay it, okay? So now we're gonna pay. So here is a tip or trick for you guys out there. So not only you know what it pays, but you know you're getting paid correctly, okay? When you get paid, every green now gets a red. Every red gets a white when you go to pay the odds. So here, let's throw in a little something extra into our mix here. We're gonna put someone there with $7 on the pass line. So for the red one, they can take a green, and we have 2 singles, so each of those signals gets a red, and so they can take 35 odds, okay? So the very first bet, okay, every green gets a red, there we go, and then 5 here. We have 35 in back, every green gets a red, every red gets a white. So there's 1 green in back, right, which gets a red, and then there's 2 reds in back, which get a white. So that's $42 there, and then of course we have the flat bet. And if you notice, 42 and 7 is $49. 7 times 7 is $49. Like we discussed earlier, if it's the maximum odds on a 3, 4, 5 game, 7 times a flat bet is the total amount you're gonna get paid. And that works for every single number, okay? But in this case here, we used our little tips and tricks, so now we know we got paid correctly. Okay, again, every green in back is gonna get a red. So here I'm gonna go out like a regular dealer, and I'm gonna pay that every green gets a red. 2 greens gets 2 red, and that one pays even money. Now let's do this, let's do a total. We know that 3 green in back is gonna get 3 red, but 7 times 15 is, guess what, $105. That's the total we're gonna get paid, because we know that little secret. Now we've got 125 odds in back, and at every 5 chips gets 6 chips, and there's even money on the flat. And there we've paid out from the 10, 9, and 8, and that's what the odds pay on your standard crap table. And now I'm gonna move on to what the odds pay on a come bet, and we're gonna work on some lays here in a second. Hello guys, this is David here with CEG Dealer School and Casino Quest. If you love craps like me, be sure to check out all of our craps channels. We have CasinoQuest.biz, of course, we have YouTube Casino Quest, we have YouTube CEG Dealer School, and don't forget on Fridays, if you happen to be in town, I teach a dice course at Casino Quest, so you can definitely sign up for that. Just go to CasinoQuest.biz, and I look forward to all of you guys in the future. Take care, have a great day, bye.